So Hostinger is one of the most affordable shared hosting providers on the market today, but does it really offer enough value with that kind of pricing? In this review, we'll explore that and whether or not Hostinger is a good choice for you and your situation. Now, Hostinger started in 2007 as a free web hosting service with no advertising. Then in 2011, the Hostinger web hosting brand was born. By May of 2014, Hostinger had already exceeded a user base of 10 million people. By January of 2017, the user base had grown to 29 million users. And that is very impressive growth in just over a decade. And the company boasts tons of unlimited and free features. But are all those extra perks truly unlimited, free, or worth it in the first place? Let's go ahead and explore that. So before we take a look at the pros and cons and features though, note that Hostinger has various types of hosting such as VPS hosting, cloud hosting, WordPress hosting, and their main and most affordable type, which is shared hosting. And shared hosting is basically where you share your server and resources with other people. And depending on which shared hosting plan you go with, you either get more or less resources. But regardless of your plan, a good hosting provider will deliver solid service nonetheless. And a solid service means solid security, like unlimited free SSL, no matter the package, Cloudflare protection, and at the very least, weekly backups, all of which are available with Hostinger. So in terms of security, you've got yourself covered no matter the plan you go with. Alright, so let's take a look at what Hostinger does best here, starting with the load times, because if your site can't load fast enough, your visitors will click away looking for a more responsive site. And so fast page loading times are vital for any website user's experience with a site. If a website takes more than 3 seconds to load, over 30% of people will abandon it, according to statistics. But Hostinger boasts servers in the USA, Asia, and Europe. Each is reportedly connected to 1,000 megabits per second connection, which ensures that loading times are stable, averaging at around 307 milliseconds, which is excellent. And besides load time, you need to also make sure that your web host can keep your website online for as long as possible without any downtime. And this is where uptime is the most important thing to check out when considering a web host. Hostinger delivered an average of 99.97 uptime with an hour and a half of downtime over the past 6 months. In total, they had 26 outages, and the biggest of them was in July when the average uptime was only 99.90%. Other than that, Hostinger's uptime fluctuated between 99.96 and 100%. Of course, no web host can keep 100% uptime, so the fact that Hostinger can go through a few months with 100% uptime is very impressive. So in terms of page load time and uptime, while Hostinger is not number one, it's still certainly at the top with these numbers. And I want to mention support real quick, because when it comes to building your website, you need a responsive support. And if you're new, you may not think of this as a vital selling point of a web host, but customer support can either make or break a web host. If your site is down for some reason and you're unable to get in touch with a customer support agent as soon as possible, you might lose out on a ton of sales. Hostinger, though, does not disappoint. The company offers a multilingual customer support team, live chat, and they integrated intercom as their main support system. Live chat is only accessible if you're logged into a Hostinger account though, and accessing the live chat support is extremely easy. Once you've logged in, you'll find an icon in the bottom right corner of the page, and you can get in touch with an agent right then and there. I've asked some technical questions, and I got knowledgeable replies backed up by links from the customer support rep, so in terms of support, whenever you're in need, Hostinger can certainly deliver. Okay, so moving on to website building and domain names. If you don't have a domain name or haven't built a website yet, Hostinger includes a free website builder called Zyro, and there are services with any plan you choose, and there are tons of different templates to choose from too. Once you've chosen a template, you can customize everything on your pages using the Hostinger website builder, which is very easy to use and has a lot of AI automated features that just makes building a website so much more easier. And in addition to the website builder, free domain names are also available with premium and business web hosting plans, which will save you a bit of money in the long run. If you need more than one domain though, you will have to pay extra starting from $8.99 a year. Now, with regards to the interface, Hostinger offers a modern, easy-to-use interface where you can find everything you need in one location. That way, you can track logins, update billing information, manage your domains, and monitor emails from your dashboard. The control panel isn't a traditional cPanel, but large icons and the user interface in general makes it so simple to find exactly what you need and when you need it. Now, some advanced users may miss cPanel, but for beginners who are still finding their way around, this version is great for getting a website up and running, and even for the advanced users that just prefer a simpler interface, the H-panel might just be what you're looking for. Now, with regards to the features, while you do get a decent package with the entry-level shared plan, if you sign up for one of the top 2 shared web hosting Hostinger plans, you'll gain a significant bump in resources and privileges, which includes double the storage, 100 websites, and from 10K monthly visits on the single shared plan up to 25 or 100K, depending if you go with the premium or business. You also get free emails as well as unlimited bandwidth and databases. And keep in mind that the same resources will cost you a few more bucks a month with other web hosts, which makes Hostinger an awesome value web hosting provider. Now, of course, shared hosting is perfect for hobbyists or those that are just starting out, but if you need something that's more suitable for your business, then cloud or VPS hosting will be more reliable, as you're able to use more resources and you have the ability to scale up by a much bigger margin than with shared hosting. So if you're expecting a lot of traffic or you're opening an online store, it's worth considering VPS or cloud hosting. I personally recommend VPS hosting. It's the perfect compromise between shared hosting and cloud hosting, and it gives you a very high ceiling for you to scale up your resources if needed. And it's cheaper than cloud hosting. Now, in terms of pricing, it's important to note that as with any other subscription-based service, it's better to go with the longest term plan. As an example, the single shared hosting plan will go for $199 a month, with the renewal rate of $399 a month. So it's better to make use of the first-time discount by opting for the longest term plan. Now, typically, low price usually means some compromises have been made in quality, but in Hostinger's case, the service they offer is actually quite good compared to most web hosting service providers. Now, clearly, there's a lot to like about Hostinger's loading speeds, support quality, and features. Unfortunately, no perfect web host exists, and Hostinger, like other hosts, has some flaws. The trick is figuring out which flaws you can live with and which ones are the deal breakers. And perhaps something that may be considered a con to some is the lack of the traditional cPanel. Most hosting services use a traditional control panel, like cPanel. Hostinger has created its own control panel. New users might find this easier to use than the traditional control panel. However, if you're already accustomed to using cPanel, you might not like their dashboard. Therefore, advanced users may not really love this part about Hostinger. Now, with regards to the Hostinger refund policy, I thought there are a few things that might be worth considering. Now, in the Hostinger refund policy, they state that they do refund anything that has to do with hosting, including all the plans, except the first payment after the free trial. They also refund domain transfers, though .eu transfers are an exception because European ID charges a non-refundable transfer fee, and if the transfer fails for any reason, the customer must start over and pay the transfer fee again. .es transfers are also non-refundable, and SSL certificates are of course refundable, though redemption fees, domain name renewals, and privacy protection are not refundable. Most new domain name registrations are only refundable if cancelled and processed within 4 days of registration, not 30 days. So keep these exceptions in mind before moving forward. Now, another potential con, you could say, is Hostinger's single shared hosting plan, which is incredibly affordable, but if we look at it more closely, it's rather limited. For example, a domain name is not included in their single share plan. A free domain name is obviously something that a lot of other hosts offer in all their plans, and it has become an industry standard, something that you expect to get at least for the first year. But considering that Hostinger is still cheaper than most of the other web hosting providers, this is still understandable in my opinion. Moreover, Hostinger's cheapest plan is limited with their storage at 50 gigabytes and bandwidth at 100 gigabytes. But if you have a small hobby site, this should be a little bit more than enough. And if you already have a bigger site, then you should opt for their more expensive plans, of course. But besides that, there's honestly not much to criticize about Hostinger. It's a solid service overall. But do I recommend Hostinger? Well, yes. Hostinger provides superb speed and is very reliable. The entry-level single shared hosting plan doesn't offer many unlimited perks or free features, but the premium and business plans, cloud hosting, VPS hosting, and business web hosting plans have a lot more to offer for very competitive prices. Hostinger also offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you're unhappy with the service, you can still get that refund before full commitment. Moreover, in case you need help, then their customer support is very responsive, knowledgeable, and friendly, and that is a very important thing to have with a web hosting provider. Overall, Hostinger has become an industry staple in the web hosting provider services, and for plenty of good reasons. So if you're interested in giving it a shot, I totally recommend it. And again, I'll leave an exclusive discount linked in the description down below if you guys are interested. Besides that, comment below if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer all of them. Like and subscribe if you'd like to support the channel and stay up to date with everything web hosting, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful day.